Good morning, everybody. Good morning. It's Tammy coming to you live today from my office in Farmville, Virginia, for a Sunday sermon. It is Sunday, and you know that I don't do a whole lot of this on Sunday, so I appreciate you tuning in to all of this and more. So as you jump on here today, I'm a few minutes later than I wanted to be. Say hello and tell us where you're watching from, and please drop us a grateful fed in the comments. I am live in a couple of places today. I'm live on my personal page. I'm live in our business page for Hometown Hippie. I'm live in the Grateful Fed page, and I'm also live on YouTube. I am not live in our private group today because I do not know why. I really don't. I am something went against community standards last week. I do not know what, and I am not allowed to post in private groups right now, but I am allowed to post in everywhere else. So I'm not going to argue with it. The universe does not make mistakes. God does not make mistakes, so I don't worry about it. I'm posting where I'm supposed to post today. Good morning, Norma Jean from Abilene. Good morning, Elizabeth Clark from Crew, Virginia. Grateful fetting it up in the comments as you're seeing as you jump on here. This is more fun with friends. Please do me a favor and do the things below. Like say hi, tell me what you're watching, where you're watching from. Drop us a grateful fed in the comments. Interact with everybody. Give us some thumbs up, some hearts. It helps people to find us. If you're watching that on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button. That way we are getting the subscriptions over there. The bell notifies you of where we're live, so you always get notifications. And what is Sunday Sermon? Sunday Sermon is the Sunday little motivational pep talk to kick the week off. Sometimes it's reflections or stories. Sometimes it's just me being silly. It's just whatever it needs to be. But I started this back. Good morning, Melissa DeMarco. Interestingly enough, you need to be here today. And I'm going to say this because Melissa DeMarco, I was on the way here on 3rd Street today, and an interaction that we had over the weekend, over Friday, just was playing in my head. And I was laughing about Sunday sermon and saying that it is Melissa's here. I'm going to say this. So I said, it's interesting. I was like, one of the conversations I had today is about community and about some things people said this week. And Anthony was one of the people I was going to talk about, Anthony and Melissa today, about our community. And I said, well, Anthony just joined the church last week. This is all the stuff that played out in my head, like the conversation I had with myself. I said, well, he won't be there. He'll be at church and listening to his own Sunday sermon. And then my brain went through, it's interesting because I always worry about calling this Sunday sermon because it's Sunday morning. It used to be Saturday mornings, and I would sit on my deck and I would be honest, I'd have my little puff and I'd have my coffee, and we called it coffee chat. And then Saturday mornings was a bad time for people in the spring and summer because they were out and about running errands with kids, and they were always having to go to soccer or to this or to that. A lot of people work still on Saturday mornings. People work on Sunday mornings, but people were working, and they asked me to move it to Sunday. And we moved it to Sunday. The first time that I came live, it was kind of a sermon, and so the name stuck. And I was thinking about that on the way here about how good mornings from Sylvania, Ohio. About how the people who are home, right? Who are home doing this thing that hitting their bowl, smoking your coffee, hitting your bowl, drinking your coffee, whatever you're doing this morning. Maybe having breakfast, maybe scrolling through the interweb, sitting in your chair, recliner, whatever. This is kind of like church for y'all, right? And this is kind of like church for me. It's one of those things that I get up and I do every Sunday morning, whether I want to or not, right? It is one of those things that we look for people in the same chairs it's kind of very much like a community, like a virtual little service every morning. And I look for the people, and I we encourage you to lean into the community. If I see people who are here that are not here, and it's interesting because I have people who we work with all week long who I know are not going to be here because they are sitting in their church, on Sunday mornings, either teaching Sunday school or doing whatever they do at service, maybe just sitting with their families, maybe singing in the choir, maybe just hearing a good service. But, the people who I see here, it's the same kind of community, whether we're underneath the same roof or not. We are here in the same community. And I said all that just to say that, Melissa, you popped into my head because of that. Like your family specifically popped into my head. I was like, I wonder if Melissa goes. I bet you Melissa just watches me. And Anthony goes, it was interesting. And then I saw you today. So obviously this message you need to hear today, or else that synchronicity would not have popped in my opinion. That's just my opinion, right? This is so my church, right? And it's interesting that you say that because when I was starting to do this song by Maren Morris came out called My Church, right? Anybody ever heard that song? It's a little country song, and it talks about how she's cussed on a Sunday, she's cheated and she's lied, and she's fallen down from grace. She says a few too many times. But she finds holy revival when she puts the car in drive, right? Turns the radio up and turns up the dial. And I feel like that is what today is going to be about a little bit, right? It's about how we all kind of dance to the beat of our own drummer, and how her car and her radio. Yeah, her car and her radio. And, I always felt weird about calling this, it's not church, that kind of thing. And the respect of, we're not organized religion, because I don't really prescribe to that. Everybody has their own thing. We don't yuck anybody's yum. We don't boo anybody's beautiful. And we're not going to talk religion today. That is not where this is going. But what it is going into is just community, right? And what church can mean outside of the traditional religion, right? The car and the radio, good music, and whatever it may be for you. Maybe it's communing with nature. Maybe it is yes, exactly. And that's what I was going to say. So if you're joining us, if you're here, do me a favor, give us some thumbs up, give us some hearts. It helps, because I am right now got a little community standard. That's great. Yep. It church's community. You see, I knew you should have been here today, Melissa. So if you're here today, do me a favor and hit that like button, because the algorithm is hiding me on Facebook and I need your help. So I'm going to ask for your help, because you're my community as much as I'm your community. We work together. So if you can do me a favor and you can, sorry, there goes that connection. Yeah. If you can give the thumbs up, if you can share this out, if you can tag a friend in the comments, so that people can find us today and help to make sure that, the message is getting out. And it's about community today. It's about finding the people who take, you work together and that you create community. And community can be big, small, all the way around. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to tell a little story today. I'm going to be a little vulnerable today, and hopefully it'll resonate with some folks, and some of you will have the courage to stand in your convictions. As many of you know, I have been talking a lot on the internet. If you'll listen to me, I read the poem, The Will to Win, all the time. But there has been a fire lit within me since 2019. And it really kind of like got it kind of had gasoline poured on it in 2020 when the world kind of started like getting kind of crazy, right? But I've had this desire and this drive and this incessant need, right? This singular focus to create this food community. And I call it a food community because food is my love language. I believe 100% that food is the thing that brings community together, right? Every food is not just fuel, even though it is fuel for your body. Food can be art. Food can be, it requires all of your senses to enjoy, in my opinion. You see it, you smell it, you taste it, you touch it, it's, you know what I mean? It's all of those things, it entices all of your senses, which therefore engages all of your systems in your body. It's kind of how I look at it, right? So it's very much one of those things that is very much an interactive and an immersive experience. And if you think about where food is present, right, it is present at happy times, at sad times, at, it's very consistent in your life. Most hunter gatherer, even tribal communities from prehistoric, whatever times, it's been about shelter, water, food, and food is there from just even in survival mode. Food is there, whether it's in thrive or survive. Food is there, but um, that's why that has been the precipice of the community. Whatever we joke about, the grateful fed family, the community that we are building, and the mission statement has always been right. I don't have the ability. None of us have the ability. Not one person listening to me today. If you do, please just do it. If you have this ability to do it all by yourself, I'm going to beg of you just to wiggle your nose, to wave your magic wand, to say the magic words and make it happen. But we don't have the ability to just go out and magically make the world a better place. We cannot change everything going on in the world with a stroke of the pen, with a wave of the wand, whatever the magic you use may be. We don't have that ability, or else it would have been done. There are enough good-hearted, beautiful, wonderful people in the world where if that power was there just for us to make it happen, it would happen, right? But we know that that's not reality. We know that we don't have the ability as one human person to go out and just change the world, like tomorrow, to see the difference, right? But every individual human person does have the ability to change the world for one other human being every day. And we say all the time, right? What do we say? You have the power of one. You have the ability every day to go out and change the world for one other human being. And sometimes that human needs to be you. But if every day we go out and we honor and we stand in the conviction of the power of one, which is finding a way to connect with another person every day, finding a small way to connect with somebody, whether it's a friend in need that pops into your brain, that you text and you call, that you schedule a lunch date with, right? That you maybe invite her for dinner, you know, that you sit down and you have a cup of coffee with. Maybe it's a stranger that you're walking into the store and somebody drops a $20 bill and you pick it up and give it back to them, or you hold the door for someone and smile at someone, or someone's being rude to you and you don't give them the rudeness back. You kill them with kindness. You say, hey, sorry you're having a bad day. How can I make it better for you? Every day going out and embodying the power of one can help the world change slowly but surely. And what does it do with, how I just want to talk about that today, because it's not about the act of that whatever that act is, whether it be holding the door, the smiling, whatever. What what you are doing and what the way that you change the world is that you are bringing one other human being, another soul, another person into your community. You are saying, I am a safe space. I am your friend. And where two or more gather, there is a community. You are letting them know that they are part of a community. You are letting them know that they are valuable by doing that. Because how many people have walked through this world and just felt unseen or unheard or unloved or unappreciated, and it took nothing more than the smile or the notice of a stranger. I've had plenty of times when a random stranger has changed my entire world, and so many of you random strangers that have done that are here now in our community, right? Because Elizabeth Clark was certainly a stranger. Norma Jean had been hiding out. She was a stranger from everybody, even in her own hometown. Someone had to introduce me to Melissa DeMarco. We didn't know each other from the beginning of time. She was a stranger that I met. Heather Johns is in Ohio. Of course she was a stranger. Amanda Giorgetti. I didn't say her name right the first 6 months that I knew her online. Right? But we're part of a community now. Amanda has never seen Heather Johns in person. They have never touched. They've never been in the same air, just breathe the same air. But I bet you they consider each other friends. That they talk through a chat all the time. They know things about each other. Their community. So whether right now in this moment you are sitting in a church pew on the third row in your normal seat every Sunday next to Miss Lillian or Miss Betty or Miss Linda or Mr. Tom, or you know, there's Mr. Brother Martin, or whoever the thing may be in your church, that is community, and there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone needs community. That's how we change the world, right? Finding your tribe, finding the people that you vibrate with, surrounding yourself with that, and the love and the vibratory, the resonance of that type of community. That's what Norma Jean and I are trying to build on this piece of property in Abilene. That's what my vision is, right? Is to build a community, a place where people feel safe, a place where people can come and be heard and seen, and that they have value, and that everyone contributes. And as we talk about community, right? And I say all the time, Hometown Hippie was where this all started, right? My LLC, my corporation name, when we were moving to incorporated this year, right? And that is the truth. I was nosy and watched your lives. They were awful. They were absolutely awful. I was not making life affirming choices. I was being told I needed to go live for this reason. Something told me to stick with it and to be authentic and show people my growth. Online became my journal about my weight loss and my changing in my attitude. It was a place where I could have the memory and go back and see it and speak to myself, because I'm very hard headed. And so a lot of the times I'm the only person that's going to listen to me, and I'm the only person I'm going to listen to. So if I go back, and that's why I started it. And I had no idea the power that those videos were going to have, because they were awful, right? They were awful, but you got to see the evolution of what happened, right? The evolution of healing, the evolution of making life affirming choices. And you can see the evolution of when I've done it and when I haven't, right? When I've done it and when I haven't. And I say to people all the time that, and it's not about being perfect. It's not about being a millionaire. It is about being true to yourself. And if I only come on here when things are, we call it sunshine and unicorn, sunshine, rainbows, and unicorn farts, then you are gonna. That's not real. That's not community. That is an image that you are trying to sell to the people, right? And y'all can attest. Can I get a hallelujah, amen? If y'all have seen me at my best and you have seen me at my worst, because in every week I'm probably there at some point. How many of you are always polished and prim and proper and ready to go live at any moment, right? I'm not either. But I believe that done is better than perfect in showing people the true who you are. And I believe that's why our community works, right? I don't put on airs. I don't even have, there's a filter on StreamYard that I can go put on right now that will make me look like I am brand new to the world, like makeup and like all of this and all of this. I'm like, that is not what I look like right now. It's Sunday morning. I'm looking like a lot of y'all. If I was at home, y'all saw the home video. I'm not even wearing a bra this morning because I'm gonna do this. But if we're a community, right? If we are friends, if you come to my house on Saturday morning, I'm gonna put that sweater on, but so my boobies aren't showing to y'all. If I've got, what I'm saying, like that's just the truth of the matter. I am not going to be polished and prim and all of those things, and I don't want not one nary and none of y'all, like not nary and none of y'all, to believe that you have to be perfect to step out and be and live your dream. I am a mess most of the time. And y'all see what we're doing here, right? It comes down to stepping out in faith. It comes out to hard work and understanding that you do the best with what you got. And when you know better, you do better. And we keep taking a step forward. You just keep going forward. A little progress is better than perfection, right? Oh, that's gonna make me cry, Melissa. I always tell your story to people how making life they do, and I don't always make the right life affirming choices, right? I can and I have the ability, and I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm not, and um, this past weekend, like I was like making some prime rib choices. I sat in my chair. I went home Friday night. We had a very beautiful, busy day on Friday. Thank you to every single human person who and every non-human person. You've given me stint that I no longer put my bra on. Oh, I love that. You've given me stint that I no longer put my bra on for people. I even go out some days. I love that. I do not. I mean, I am of an age where I feel very self conscious if I am in. I cannot go in public without a brassiere on. This also comes from someone. I don't know if y'all knew this about me or not, but in 2006, I had a breast reduction. I got married in 2005. Let me tell y'all this. Y'all laugh at this. I got married in 2005, and when Red and I met, whenever we first met, I owned a bar and restaurant. I've always kind of done this in some shape, fashion, or form. It's always been my passion to feed people. Um, Back then, it was about the dollars. It was what my family did, and I didn't realize the magic involved in it. It was very much a means to an end, and I was very much living that line cook life. You know what I mean? Like not being kind, being jaded, all the things. So, but I owned a bar. I had blonde hair, right, and these like boobs. And so we got married, and then I let my hair go back brown, right? I got a breast reduction and I sold the bar. So Red tells people all the time, he was like, yeah, when I met Tammy, she was my ideal woman. She owned a bar. She had giant boobs. She had blonde hair. She has all these things. And I'm like, and then I got the second ring. And I'm like, all right, that's all done with now. No more maintenance. I'm like I'm done hunting and fishing, or I'm done trying to gather my husband. So now that I've got him, let me just put it all back where it needs to be. But because I had the breast reduction, I still feel like it's kind of like a phantom bloom, I guess. Like I still feel like my boobs are out to here, and if I don't have a bra on, then they're at my waist. So it's very much a psychological thing, even after this many years of having the reduction. Um, that I feel self-conscious about exactly what it was, Lisa. That's exactly what it was. It was like feeding the bear from like the pot when you hunt it, and then like as soon as you get it, it's like, all right, no more food for you. So yeah, that's exactly what it was, and I feel very bad about that, but not really, not really. But that's part of communities, like sharing those little laughy things. So yeah, that part. But this week I have been just overwhelmed with community, and I want to talk about that today, um, because number one, the Grateful Fed Catering Company, and it's very big emotional for me. I know this sounds silly, and I know that it's small town, big deal. But the Grateful Fed Catering Company won the best new business from the Chamber of Commerce in Farmville, and I am just very proud of that. Right, I am very, very, very proud of that. And I have been inducted, and I will get my pin this month. I am the newest member of the Farmville Rotary Club. I'm now a Rotarian as well, and that's about giving back to community. And that's a new community that I am joining, and that's what I'm going to talk about with community today. Right, finding your tribe, finding your community, and it's like kind of. Does anybody remember those ads? I thought you were going to be in church, Anthony. I was just talking about you. I was just talking about you. Um, and I was saying about community. And what I was saying was is that we all have our own community. Thank you so much. And I want y'all to give Anthony. Anthony is our t-shirt guy. Anthony does all of our shirts and all of our sign printing and all of that. And I don't know if y'all remember about a year or so ago, when we first got our first shirts, Anthony came to me and he said, Tammy, he was like, here's the price on these. Is like, as a small business, I can't give you the $8 a t-shirt price that you can go online and buy from these overseas companies. They'll ship these t-shirts out and get them much cheaper for the community. And I said, Anthony, I didn't ask you where I can get them cheaper. I asked you what your price was, because it's about supporting local and about being a part of community. And I'm not asking you not to make any money. Not that I've paid you yet for the last order, but I'm getting there, right? Which I need to send you a check this week. But and then I brought this to this community, and I was like, hey, we have a local person that does shirts, or we can get these cheapo shitty ones from overseas, and we can, spend $8 with another country and then pay tax and shipping and all that somewhere else. Or here's a quality product from someone who we all know, and Melissa's in our community and Anthony's in our community. And what do y'all want to do? And it was unanimous. It was unanimous. We're certainly not using China. We're never going to do that. We're always going to support Mr. DeMarco and Mountain Creek Signs, right? We're always going to do that. And it's because, but I brought it to the community. I said, let's let the community vote. Let's see what the community that we have built wants to do. And what I love is you found your tribe, right? When they do exactly what you did. I'm like, there's no question. There's zero question about the fact that they are going to choose, this this part of our community group of folks. And we appreciate you all, right? We appreciate you all. Oh, he is upset about the whole gathering of the husband speech. Yeah. So I was joking about when I met Red, because Anthony has known me before. He knew me when Red was still courting me, when I had the boobs and the blonde hair in the bar. So yeah, I definitely bait and switched it. I definitely bait and switched Red on that one, but we do what we got to do. And my wife will continue to use my credit card at your store, and I appreciate that as well. I really do. But this week the community came out, and I don't do this. People say all the time, like, Tammy, you're never going to get rich if you give it away. Tammy, you never do this if you do this. And I was like, first of all, stop telling me what I'm trying to do. It's like, number one, I feel like I am one of the richest women that ever walked on 2 feet. And I don't have, and I'm going to use the language my mom would use. My mom would say, I don't have a pot to piss in and one to throw it out the window with. And I don't. Every week I get up on Sunday when I come to do payroll and I pray. And I'm like, dear Lord, let us have made enough money. Because I don't even look. I'm like, I don't even want to know. We're just going to make money this week, and we're going to hope we have enough money to pay the bills. Hoping and praying, right? I have an accountant that does the rest of it. And every Sunday I come in here and I'm like, who am I going to pay with some other? Who am I going to write a check out of my personal account to this week? Who am I going to give my credit card to use this week? That's really that's how I feel every week. I'm like, I am not out here, crushing it, able to do the things. I have been blessed. I have been blessed, right? With support from the community, with people who just show up and say, hey, you have a need, let me try to meet it. And the same way that whenever we feel like we bless people, y'all have no idea the blessings that come in this door. The blessings that walk in this door. Norma Jean walks in. Where did I put it? Where did she put? Oh, they put it up. They have it in the other room. Christmas with a big bag and says, I have a farm, you need a farm. I need a farmer, you need a farm. Let's work together. What? Right? Somebody else walks in and says, hey, could you, our rep, we got one piece of meat that came in one time that was frozen, and it should not have been. It was frozen hard as a brick. We needed it. We had to defrost fast. So our rep, the last time we got a truck, we get this giant defrosting board that's like a $500 piece of equipment that they said, hey, we're sorry this happened. We didn't mean to mess you up. Here's this to have from us as a gift. I'm like, what? Right? The support of the people who come in and eat with us. We cannot thank you enough. The fact that I got emails today from a gentleman who said, hey, I was in town moving my son back to Longwood. He's a graduate student. And I was at Walker's Diner having breakfast. And someone from our community's at Walker's Diner, Angela Chapman. I know it was Angela. I know without a doubt it was Angela because she works at Walker's Diner and she knows our stuff. So I know she told him he was looking for a local meal service plan for his son who has lots of food allergies. He wanted to use like a factor 75 to make sure he had lots of food in the freezer. And this person told him about us. And now he wants us to create all the food for his kid, like a local, like we've been talking about, right? Doing the local meal prepping. So community is not just one way. Community is very, very much as I get kudos and accolades, right? For, helping and taking care of, each and every part of the community is equal. And each and every part of the community takes care of the other part of the community. Anthony is in our community. I'm using Anthony because he's on here. He's the only guy he's getting picked on today, right? Anthony is part of our community. We know that we're going to support Anthony for shirts. Anthony's going to support us. It's a back and forth exchange, right? It's an exchange of energy. The reason that we give dollar bills and coins and all these things, the reason they have value is because we allow them to have value. But in a community, right, there's plenty of bartering that people do. I have people, yeah, I'm used to it. You're okay. It's not in a bad way. It's not in a bad way. But it's about the way that we have to understand as the world progresses and things move forward, there's an exchange of energy. And if you find a community, it takes a village. There's a way to exchange energy. Maybe you have milk and I have eggs. Maybe that person over there has bread and this person has soup. You work together as a community. That's what the building of the community is about. It's about finding like-minded people who you vibe with, your tribe, and how you work together to create a homeostasis and symbiotic environment for everyone in a way that we can all work together to change the world. That's how you change the world. It's one person at a time. It's one community at a time. It's one hometown at a time. It is one county, one state. It just trickles out like that. And it's not a fast process. We did not break this place this quick. It's not going to be rebuilt this quick, but it's going to be done with each and every one of us. And maybe this is not your community. Maybe this is not your tribe. Maybe you're like, Tammy, I love y'all, but yes, like two peas on a pack. Yeah, like two peas in a pod, right? You work together, and it's about working together for the betterment of all. And when I think about restaurants and bars and all the things that I have grown up in, all the things that my great grandmother had a lunch counter. My grandmother had truck stops. My mom had bars and restaurants. And now here I am, right? And before that, my great grandmother, she had a hospitality house. Like a Airbnb with maybe some girls on the top floors, an old saloon style. My family has been in this for generations, y'all. It has been creating a place for people to come together for generations. And I love the fact that they were women-owned businesses, that they were strong, independent restaurateurs and culinarians and business and smart, savvy women. But I know that is my soul's purpose, right? To create the crowded table, right? And that's one of my favorite songs that it's probably my theme. And we have been talking about names of restaurants and restaurant stuff because, we're growing this year into some other big things. Some big things are coming down the pike. And they're like, okay, well, this concept here and this concept there. And I've got people who now want to invest in us and who want to see these things come true. And the crowded table, right? Anybody remember the song Crowded Table? Says, I want a house with a crowded table, where the people can come at the end of the day and gather. Like, lay your worries down, come have a seat at the table. There's always food for you. There's always warmth. There's always a place for you to be. That's what we want to provide, is the crowded table, right? We want to be able to have a place where everybody feels like they can come and they can refuel and all of that. The highwaymen, right? I want a house, the crowded table, in a place by the fire for everyone, right? And as I've been thinking about this whole like journey that I've been on and building community and trying to make a difference, and I'm like, I feel like we are a place for people to come and they can recharge their battery. I want to be a place for people to come in, take a deep breath, feel embraced. The energy that we try to create in this space, in this building when you walk in, is that it's a giant hug when you walk in the door. And we do that through smells and ambiance, and we greet people when they walk in the door. We call you by your name if we know your name. If we know what you like, we message you and say, your food's ready. Hey, we got banana pudding. We know you love banana pudding. Did you want us to put some aside for you? It's about building community. It's not about building a business. I said, let's focus on building community. Everything else will fall into place. So if you're struggling and you are feeling disconnected and you are feeling alone, or you are feeling like you don't have a place that you belong. Now, here's what I'll say. Lisa talked about this, right? Lisa's here today. But Lisa says, I need to start going to church again. I feel a draw to be there. There must be something you need to hear. If you are feeling drawn, then try to go find that place. That means that there's something that is calling you. Melissa DeMarco didn't start watching these videos and just say, this bitch is awful, I'm going to watch this for the laughs. There was something that she needed to hear to why she stayed. Amanda Giorgetti said the first time that she watched with PR, which was where everybody saw me start, right, that she knew we were going to be connected forever, right? So she said, when I first started watching, I met you with PR, I knew for that moment it would be a lifetime. And I love that, right? There's a connection, there's community. And if you feel like you found your community, lean in and find ways to be a part of that community. Lean in and find ways to be actively involved in your community. Because that's the next step, right? Find your community and get involved with your community and really stand in the power of one knowledge, right? Really stand in the knowing that you have the ability to change the world. And the more you can build your community is whenever you are out there and you are being an example. You don't have to go out here and be online live and like have a sign up sheet for whatever it may be. But what I have been told by God, by source, by universe, when I get into my side of my head about, hey, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing this for the right reasons? And all of this stuff. And I always remember, right? It is not my job as a soul on this planet and part of my purpose, right? Is what God told me in my commune with God, her, him, whatever you want to, whatever words you use, universe, source, angels, gods, whatever you call it, right? When I have stressed over if my messages are reaching the right people, if the right people heard the things, um when I was worried about the outcome and I was attached to the outcome and detached from the process, right? And I was out of alignment, out of whack. God pulled me aside and said, your job is not to worry about what happens once the seed is planted. Your job is to plant the seed. And I told this story a couple of weeks ago about how I'd planted these seeds out in the parking and in the driveway area of my house in this really good dirt. And it was a place where it got plenty of water, plenty of sunshine, all the things. And I kept stressing over the fact that the seeds had not grown, the seeds had not grown, the seeds had not grown. And I was like, why do I even do this? Why did I waste the time and the energy? And then I'm helping people and they're just doing what they want. And I've been nice and I held a door and none of it's working and people are just being awful. And I got inside of my head about it, right? God stopped me in my tracks and said, look down. And I looked down in that moment months later, and all of those seeds were popping up through the ground. And God said to me, as clear as I'm talking to you, y'all, if you stop and you listen and you take time to commune with nature and with God, God will speak to you as clear as I'm talking to you. And it is not, I'm not crazy. I promise you, it might not be words, but you can hear it as well as you hear me. And he said, and she said, it's always a man's voice to me when God speaks. I just think it's from my training, right? My programming, my brain does it. And he said, your job as my good and faithful servant is to plant the seeds. The way that you water and that you put sunshine on them as you live your life in integrity. What you say, what you do, and what you think. You live your life as a shining light by living in integrity. By doing your very dead level best. Good morning, good morning, good morning, right? And you let me worry about that because sometimes roots have to grow deep before people can pop up. So sometimes I'm working with them underneath, right? God's working in your heart, working in your soul, right? Before you can actually show it on the outside. There's a lot of internal work that has to be done. And what God was saying is that root system, I got to build that foundation, and I'm working on them on the inside. That's my job. Your job is to just be a light and to live your life in integrity, and everything else will happen. Don't work. You got to detach from the outcome and commit to the process. So if you're out there today and you're feeling like everything, like, I tried, nothing's working, I'm letting you know God is working on those roots. He's working on those foundations. And all you need to do is trust the process, detach from the outcome, and everything's going to be okay. So as we talk about community today, I want each and every one of you to remember that community is a two-way. It's not about just like letting people be there for you. It's about being there for others as well. And I hope that if you've not found your community yet, that you will find it this year. We would love to invite you to be a part of our community. If you're feeling down, if you're feeling out, if you need a hug, if you need some good energy, we want you to know that this is where that comes from. Now, sometimes people's energy doesn't match. If you're an asshole, your energy won't match. Let's just be honest. It just won't, right? But if you would like to be a part of community, we encourage you to come be a part of our community. Oh, Lisa, I hope you'll come see us. I'm going to try. Oh, come on 420. We have our big hippie fest that weekend, and that's whenever yes, you give gratitudes and all those things and ask, right? Ask God in your prayer. So they say that prayer is when you speak to God, right? Prayer is you talking to God. Meditation is you listening. And I spend a lot of time in meditation because I feel like I talk to God all day. I pray all day. I'm like, all right, God. I was like, we got to work together on this. I need help. Calling in my angels, my gods, and my helpers. I'm like, make me a clear and perfect channel. I was like, let me know what you need me to do. Give me a sign if this is what you need me to do. Speak to me in synchronicities. I need your guidance here. Make the path clear for me. And I ask. And then when I sit in meditation twice a day, right? Right? I say, okay, I'm listening. Like I've talked to you all day long. Now it's time for me to shut up, right? It's time for me to listen. In the mornings, I listen for guidance on what my day should be. And I say some affirmations and speak out loud. In the morning, I take some time and I give gratitude and I take some time to quiet my mind and to ask for the intentionality and the wherewithal of the day. And then in the evenings, I say, okay, give me no more than I can take tonight, but let me know what the evening comes. Give me abundance, wealth. I'm listening. I'm doing a guided meditation. I'm taking some time to clear my mind. I know that you're going to show me in either my meditation vision, my dream, whatever it may be. I'll journal it down. And whatever it is, right, that you need to do, because everybody's walk is different. I'm not telling you that's how you need to do it, none of those things. I love this. This is exactly what I'm talking about, right? So Lisa just said, I just joined a Parent Head Club here at the beach. They are all about fundraising and community service. Exactly. It's finding places and things like that. Maybe it's a VFW. Maybe it's a Moose Lodge. Maybe it's a Rotary Club, whatever it may be. Find your community. I'm going to tell you this also, a little secret. You can never have too much community. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Take care of yourself, right? I feel like when we are in service to others, at least for me, it gives me more of a accountability, because other people are in my atmosphere, so I have an accountability to them. Just like to each and every one of you in this community, to take care of myself, because when you love yourself, you treat yourself like something you love. And when you're part of community, I feel like that helps you have self-love because you're surrounded by people who love you. I love each and every one of you. I know that you all love me. And whenever other people love you and you're surrounded in love, you can be held the vibration of love. Does that make sense? So the more community you have, I feel like it's the more love you have. And love is the place that kind of opens up all the stuff, right? So as we pull our crystal card today, that's what we do on our Sunday sermon. We try to do an hour, and we're close to that. I hope that this resonated with folks today. I hope that they found the message that they needed to hear today. I had some very high compliments this week. I had a customer come in on Friday, and they said that they have never had a business that was more. That's where community came from. More adapt and I was the best person he'd ever met at bringing the community along. That it wasn't just about us; it was about the entire community. And he just didn't understand how I did that. He's like, it's like that's your mission. And I was like, oh, that's interesting, because that is my mission. It is about creating a place where you can come in and refill your cup. I just realized, not just, I mean, this has been something that I've been journaling through, is that I feel like we all have our roles to play in the grand cosmic scheme of things. And I feel like, who's a Star Wars nerd? I'm gonna go off a little tangent real quick. Anybody else? I'm a big old Star Wars nerd. I'm the big old, I love Star Wars with all of my heart. And it's interesting because on every one of the movies, there's always like this gathering place where they have to go to like some planet or somewhere where there's like a alien pub where like it's either like seedy and things are happening, or there's there's like archives beneath it, but it's always like the rebels have got like a that's like their underground railroad or whatever. There's always like a spy for the Jedi inside these places. And I have been trying to my mom was a big old Star Trek person, right? And so I want to ask y'all this question, right? Think about this. There's so many people, alcohol, right? Alcohol, we know, will provide you a community. Misery, they say misery loves company. So I want to have like joy, right? Joy needs company, like love and non-misery, like joy and happiness seeks company. Every establishment my family has owned since I have been alive, that I've been a part of being in, right, has always been the heart of the community. Like what we were, like our community is always a gathering place. It was always a place for people who lost souls and weathered people and beat down people to come. And I've watched them come in and be battered. And my mom feed their, by listening to them, by talking to them, by being kind to people who people were not kind to, addicts whose wife had kicked them out, who my mom knew. She's like, look, blue collar guys that ate with us, and he'd come in and look all sad and down, and mom's like, hey bud, what's going on? And he's like, so and so, I didn't come home till late Friday. I blew half my check on some bullshit. She just gets the truth. They just tell her every truth. They would lie to their family. I didn't get paid half of it, or the truck got a flat tire. I blew it on shit up my nose. I drank it away. They would just be honest with my mom, because my mom said, it's okay. You screwed up. You can't change it. Money's gone now. How do you keep it from happening again? And she told them to it. I've seen her cash paychecks, give him $20, call the wife and say, his check is here. Come get it right now. Come get it right now. I've watched her help however she could. And I'm going to get really emotional about it. And I'm like, Mom, I was like, what? Why? I mean, I was not in that place then. It's like, why are you interjecting? He's like, he needs us. He needs somebody. When you know better, you do better. And if he gets off of it, he doesn't get the money to go do it, his kids got to eat. She just figured out. I watched her hug people through. Don't let him hit you again. Do not let him hit you again. If you got to come live at my house, he's not going to put his hands on you again. My kids have no food. I don't have. Mom's like, you will never be hungry. I'll make sure you're not hungry. That's what community does. It's not just through the beautiful times. I've watched her help people. I watched all these places kind of create that, right? And that is the mission. It's about finding I think that we're starting. This is one of our spaces, right? This, where we're at now, is one of our spaces to create that. That's what I want to build. That's the mission. That's the crowded table. I'm not saying I'm welcoming everybody, but it's about lifting people up, help dusting them off. I've also seen her say, hey, I've helped you 25 times. First time, Shane, I've helped you. Second time, you're going to help yourself. Third time, you're going to figure it out because you're grown. She was very stringent in that. She didn't get taken advantage of. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth Clark. I just popped in, and you're just like her. My mom was different than me, a little bit different than me, but we have a lot of, I strive to have her kindness. I strive to have her. She really didn't judge people. She really didn't judge people. She would tell you about yourself. Don't get me wrong. She would tell you about yourself, but she's a lot braver, I feel like, sometimes than I am, because she would say things and I'm like, holy shit. If I said that to somebody, it'd punch me in my mouth. And she could just say it, and she's like, It's what it is. Like, be honest. It just be what it is. And I think that makes me very self-aware because she loved me through all the beautiful parts and she loved me through all the broken parts. And she made me understand that I was a sum of all of those parts and that was worthy of love regardless. And she used to always like, I'm very much who authentic because she let me know that that's who you should always be. She's like, I would rather know my children for who they are than for y'all to hide it from me. Know that I'm going to love you. I may not always agree. I may not want to hear. I might say, I'm not going to listen to that. We talk about like sex and silly stuff we do. She's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. But she says, I love you regardless. She's like, I don't care if you're the biggest whore in 10 counties. You're still mine. And I love you regardless. I would hope that would teach you some better self-respect for your body. But if you're choosing it and you want to do it, that's what she always tells me. If you're doing it and you want to do it, then you own it and you stand in it. And I will support you. She wouldn't support some nonsense we were getting pushed into, none of that. She wouldn't let you do that. But if you were standing on your firm on what you wanted to do, I've made mistakes. I've gotten in trouble. She's like, hey, we all do those things. The good, the bad, the ugly. That's what family, community does, right? That's what community does. You love people through the ugly and the good. My mom would take them in when they had nowhere to go. There were times if I wake up and the rolls would be wall-to-wall bodies on the floor. She took a young girl in with a new baby. The baby was sleeping in a dessert drawer. She then was charged with kidnapping them. Yep, it's my, and people would get out of the jail and then walk down to go. They'd have no money. They'd be hungry. She's like, sit down. What do you want? And she'd fix them a plate. Have a conversation like, what put you in jail? You gonna work on not doing that? We never got robbed. We never ever had. We had people steal a couple of times. And she's like, they needed it worse than we did. You have those people that happens. My dad would always say, no good deed goes unpunished. And I was like, I don't believe that. I was like, I understand that people can be awful human people and they can take advantage of good people. I get that. But when I give from my heart, I do not care what happens with the receipt. When I give, I give. I release control of what I give away. And what you do with that, how you appreciate that, that is now on you. My job was, again, to plant the seed and to do it with integrity and let God handle the rest. Right? So if you're out there and you're looking for that community, and I'm not saying go take in homeless people. I'm not saying that, y'all. If you're not comfortable doing that, don't do that, right? But don't judge people by their worst chapter, because you would miss a whole lot of really great novels if you stop reading in chapter 2 or 3. You would have missed mine. If Melissa DeMarco would have stopped watching those awful videos of me sitting there smoking a cigarette in my house, I was like talking, sitting there like, oh, y'all, we eat this cheeseburger. Here's a vibrator. That's how bad it was, okay? But if she would have stopped reading that book then, she would have missed the comeback, right? Now, as we have 7 minutes, we're going to go ahead and pull our weekly crystal affirmation card. When I say we listen, I pull a card giving us a collective reading for the week, journal prompts, some affirmations, something for the collective. And it's interesting. I'm going to use Heather Johns as an example real quick. I talk about giving these sermons and detaching from the outcome and not stressing over who's watching, who's not, all of those things. And because these are on YouTube and on Facebook and all the places, and there have been plenty of times, and Heather Johns can speak to that, where someone watched a video from 3 years ago that they needed to hear on YouTube, and it resonated. One of Heather's kids, friends, had that happen, and they needed to hear a message they heard, and they were able to reach out to Heather, part of community, because she had commented in some stuff about being in addiction and getting out of it and all that stuff, and it really helped. So if I do not catch the live, see, and Susie says, if I don't catch the live, I'll watch it later. And so that way, if you are finding your community in a church or whatever, you can always come back and find it. So we're going to pull our crystal affirmation card this week. I'm going to call in my angels, my guides, my helpers, all that are there to assist me. I'm asking you to make me a clear and perfect channel for this message that I'm about to give. I'm asking for the crystal card for the collective, whether it's now or in the future. When you hear this message, it resonates with you. Take what you need and leave what you don't. And we're going to take some deep breaths in through our noses to kind of settle ourselves. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Okay. As you know, I am not able to post in Hometown Hippie private group right now. My brand ambassadors will be doing that. I will be live again Wednesday with our drawing for our pantry collection. Our Munchie of the Month box is burning a hole. You'll need to get them. We've only sold one. Only Heather has treated herself to a Munchie of the Month box. And I'm not sure why. It's a really great value for the amount of stuff you get in that. You're getting a honey. You're getting 6 Powerballs, a carrot cake, a simmer pot, and a crystal. And for $55, and 5 of that goes to our charitable causes. If you're here from the Grateful Fed side, from the newest, best new business in Farmville, we have our Sugar Magnolia Market opening in 10:30 to 6, Monday through Friday. We have our new counter in. I'm going to show you all a picture. I'm so excited for this. I think I have the picture. Let's see if I have the picture. I do. So y'all can see. We have a new workspace in the kitchen. That is one of our lines. We're going to be doing like a Panera style lunch every day. We have some delicious specials this week. Every Monday we are bringing in a new local farmer vendor, and tomorrow we have Hybrid Shrimp Farm, and we have 3 shrimp specials to kick the week off with: shrimp grilled shrimp tacos, shrimp po' boy, and a hot honey mixed grilled shrimp salad, which will be like a bed of spinach with like grilled shrimp, vegetables, pineapple, some pecans, a hot honey vinaigrette dressing. And then we have a new prime rib sandwich debuting this week on some grilled, locally made sourdough. And we have some new soups this week. Saturday, 9 to 3 will be our brunch market with a Hybrid Shrimp Farm here to hold pounds for sale. And on Friday night is our Shrimp Fest dinner. So make sure you get in on that. And it's funny. And this has been popping out. It's Angelite. It says support is all around you, but it says to shuffle and give another card. 1, 2, 3, 6. All right. Fluorite jumped out. So find peace within, and support is all around you. And it's interesting talking about community with support being all around us. We've read this card a couple of times in the last couple of weeks. It has really started coming out a ton. And the Angelite says, you are not alone. Somebody is still not hearing this. And I don't know if it's me or one of you, but whoever it is, support is all around you. You are not alone. Help and support are always available to you, whether through your friends, family, or guardian angels. Stay open to receiving that comforting energy. Allow others into your life. Reach out when you need your community by your side. Not all of us are comfortable asking for assistance, but trust that others want to help and, in fact, are often grateful to do so. Grateful, community, y'all, come on now. It's okay to accept, even create the support system you need and deserve. Even the strongest among us have moments of vulnerability. There is strength in allowing yourself to receive comfort and grow from a place of acceptance. So the next time someone extends a helping hand, take it with grace and gratitude. Your core question this week is, when was the last time you offered help? When was the last time you asked for help? Do you feel deserving of support? Those are great journal prompts for the week. So if you're new joining us, write those 3 questions down. When was the last time you offered help? And then journal about that. The next question is, when was the last time you asked for help? And journal about that. And then the third question is, do you feel deserving of support? And journal about that. And then your affirmation. So every day, get up this week and look in the mirror or write it down. Support is all around me. That is your affirmation this week. So today, practice asking for help from a friend, family member, or guardian angel, even for the smallest of tasks. So that was your Angelite card, which I have that. I'm going to carry that around this week. Support is all around me. And then fluorite, which is a gorgeous stone. Fluorite, I have some of that as well. It says find peace within. And let's look at the fluorite card and see what that has to say. Fluorite. Peace is not something you find out there. It comes from within. There's no need to wait for the whirlwind of life to stand still, and you don't even need to reach an internal stillness to tap into it. Peace means the acceptance of your circumstances and the conviction of your beliefs. You can act and find solace when you're at peace with your decisions. By choosing peace, you can tune out external disturbances and embrace a calmer state of being, so you can go about your daily life with and without hang on. Let me get my words together. By choosing peace, you can tune out external disturbances and embrace a calmer state of being, so you can go about your daily life and confront a challenge. Core questions. What allows you to tap into a state of inner peace? What does peace look like for you? How can you show up in life from a state of peace? I like that. I'm going to journal this one for sure. Affirm, I live in a state of peace. Claim your peace. Whenever you see a mirror today, take a deep breath and repeat your affirmation. I live in a state of peace. Bring this peaceful state of being to all of your activities. I love that. Just need to speak on this a moment. Mean what you say. If you offer help, mean it. And on the flip side, if you need help, don't be proud to take it when offered. Yes, I agree with that completely. So on that note, we are going to say adios today. We are at 11:11 at 1 hour and 52 seconds. So I'm going to say thank you so much for watching us today. We'll see you soon. If you need anything, please let us know. Those consultations that are out right now are going to be back on Monday. We got some more coming in. So don't worry about that. I'm putting those back on today. So they'll start shipping on Tuesday when Selena gets in, because she'll be out tomorrow. She's gone to a football game today, but she'll be back in Tuesday. They'll start shipping on Tuesday. And we're going to end our live today with, as always, a little peace, a little love, and a little feast, y'all. And I'm going to move some things down. There we go. And I want to say I love you. I appreciate you. I hope to see you this week if you're local. If you're not, we'll be back on Wednesday for What's Up Wednesday. And again, peace, love, and feast. Stay elevated, y'all. I'm Tammy. I'll talk to you soon.